Hello, Taurus and Taurus Rising. Welcome to your April 2016 reading. Really great to see everybody, and for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, welcome to spring. I am going to sort of theme the reading with that springtime energy. Even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I still think you'll benefit from the information coming through and the approach in this. My channeled information this month is about new beginnings and spring-like thoughts and activities. And when I thought of Taurus, I thought of the act of pruning. Pruning in the sense of gardening, working outside, basically taking dead wood, dead brush, old plants and cutting them back. Also taking something like a rose, for instance, and cutting it back so that new growth can happen. So even something that's alive and that's flourishing can sometimes do better when you take away something that's old or no longer serving it. So we'll look at this month when we sort of spread out all of the cards in the Celtic Cross and see what those sort of deadwood opportunities are and where the sort of sprouting opportunities are after you prune. So I'm going to help you find what you need to cut and show you where the growth can be this month. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck, pull out the cards, and then I'll bring a catalyst card in here. For those of you where this is the first time you've ever seen my channel, what I do is an extended outlook, which includes health, wealth, love, and destiny. I also have a catalyst card, which shows how all of that moves together. Plus, you just saw that I channel information, and for you it was to basically cut back, to prune, to take out something that no longer serves you. Okay, so one more shuffle, and let's go ahead and see what's coming through. Get a lot of questions about what decks I'm using. I do put a link to that in the description below, so feel free to click there rather than asking in the comments, since I don't have the bandwidth to answer all of those questions. Okay. A little bit of stress for some of you about money and career this month, but we'll look at that in a moment. Okay, so before I get too far in the interpretation of the cards this month, I want to go ahead and pull the catalyst to see how everything's connected. So let me shuffle these cards and we'll have that in a moment. So your catalyst card this month is the encouraging card, which reads success. And I love this. It actually reminds me this mandala, or this sort of, it's not really a mandala, it almost looks like a tile, sort of something from a church actually. But it shows, for me, like the passage of seasons. For many of you, you're on a part of a 1-year cycle, and between now and next year this time, I feel like you're going to have a complete reversal for some of you of misfortune to success. And for those of you already doing successfully, there's no reason to doubt or fear that that can't continue. I see a lot of opportunities coming through for you, okay? So we'll identify those in a moment. And one part of this is the love is part of success. So I know a lot of you are very interested in possibly starting a family or finding a mate, or just feeling that you have a little bit more self-love and appreciation for who you are. So for that, we're going to look at those opportunities as well. Okay, so let's see how the cards spread out this month and what's coming through. Your central card is one of endings and beginnings, the World card. I love it when it's at the center because this is showing me the entire month from start to finish holds the potential for really positive change that you have a say in, that you can say yes or no to. That's why you see the person sitting on top of this particular World card. It's sitting atop a lotus blossom as well. So for many of you, it's a really good month for creative and spiritual expansion. For others of you, this could mean relocation, because for me, the World card does involve getting outside of your current situation, going somewhere else. If you're an artist or a writer, it could mean publishing as well. Okay, so very exciting promise right at the beginning. Nothing comes without a little bit of, let's say, a trade-off, maybe a small sacrifice. The fact that the Three of Swords is crossing this card shows me that the trade-off is worthwhile. Don't get caught in the drama. This is a wonderful Three of Swords because you see the woman here, it's almost like a soap opera act, or maybe a romance novel. She's getting lost in the moment and thinking sort of like, woe is me. Where right underneath this situation is this beautiful blossoming opportunity. So whatever you have to give up, it might be a status, maybe it's a friendship or a business liaison, something better is beyond that. That's why this card was crossing it. So my caution to you is to not get caught up in the moment. I feel like the first week could be a little bit of a tumultuous one where there are very, very high lows and very, very, I guess, high highs. That sounds funny, but let's say extreme highs and lows. So you want to make sure that you try to be more temperate over this and see the bigger opportunity. This is your chance to break free of something that has been basically keeping you sort of captive for a long time. I saw the Hanged Man in Aries. It was in the sort of ego position. For you, it's a deep past. This shows me many, many years of paying dues for some of you, and also for many of you, putting yourself second, third, or maybe not even in the top 10 of what's important when in regards to family, friends, and other priorities. So this has to end. That's what this card at the center was about, the world. 10 of Pentacles, recent, past, or emerging opportunities. Money should be changing and work opportunities should be sort of blossoming for you. And if they're not, this is the chance, if you see fit, to leave. Because many of you, if you stay where you're at, what I see here is that you're not getting compensated either in appreciation, time, money, effort, other resources as you should. So this is a really good time for you to break free. And Eight of Pentacles, is a card of learning. Often it's an apprentice card. This month here, though, it's more of an action card. You see, she's actually making her own future here with this sort of loom. So what I want you to do is, like the wheel here, like a loom, you need to start to move forward, make a step. So if you're not happy with your job, redo your resume, create a new website, go to a marketing event, take a training class. It's a really good month for you to learn a new language, learn a new skill, return to college, get your GED, anything that expands your mind, your intuition, your heart, do it this month. You're very much supported. It is the crowning card. When I look at your present state of mind, what I see here is it's a little hard for some of you to make the time for it, and you may even have a desire to just sort of take it easy. But remember, Seven of Pentacles is about planting opportunities, seeds, and watching that grow into something more, the Eight of Pentacles. So don't relent is what I would say. And if it means having to sort of exercise a little bit, drinking a little more caffeine, I normally don't advise that, but whatever you need to sort of give you that extra push, try to get your endorphins moving and realize that the way to get unstuck is to actually get out of a rut. So I want you to think about being more active in your thoughts and more proactive in sort of your future actions as well. Okay, good news for many of you. When I look at the environment card, I see love on the horizon. Now, the King of Cups is more than just love. The King of Cups is also about opening yourself to letting go of fear and just being a more warm and compassionate person. So what the card's really saying is, could you be both strong and vulnerable? Could you be both somebody that people could look up to, but that could also sort of give of yourself, give of your time? So service, compassion, and love are attributes that you want to cultivate within yourself this month. For those of you seeking love, this very much could be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces coming into the horizon. A very positive card since it's upright. Sometimes this card manifests itself as someone with a fairer complexion or lighter features, but just remember that it's about compassion and a combination of both masculine and feminine energy. So I do love the King of Cups. It's going to help you both in love and then also just in your heart opening up to new things this month. So love this card, love what it says for you, Taurus, this month. For the Four of Swords, this is in your hopes and fears. So one thing I want to sort of acknowledge with this particular illustration here is that you don't want to wait too long. This almost reminds me of what is it, Sleeping Beauty? Yeah. Where if you let something go too long, you can't just wait for someone to save you. I mean, it's a beautiful story, but there is an opportunity that's going to come through around the middle of the month that will not wait until the end of the month. And for some of you, you're going to miss that if you don't act. That's why the pentacle is reversed here. So really the first 2 weeks of the month are your time to go after new opportunities. If you missed it, I see another opportunity coming up around the very last week of the month. But what I'm also seeing with this is two things. In the area of work, really good time to sign a longer term contract for many of you. We have the Four of Wands, which is a great card that supports long-term engagements, safety, stability, etc. If you have any sort of projects that you want to share with the world, this is the month to do it. Not only because you have the World card, so again, for those of you that are looking to be published, looking to find an agent, this is a great month. For those of you looking to get accepted into a school or find a job that has a really difficult sort of, maybe you have to take the bar or whatever it is, this is a month to go for it because I see the opportunity to get to that next step. And if you can do it this April, then you're going to be in it for the long run. This is something that's really great. Also, for those of you that might meet that King of Cups character, then what I see here is that this has potential for a long-term courtship because the Four of Wands is something where you actually have a chance. Both of you are interested in the same sort of thing. So really positive energy overall. Please don't miss the opportunities for training and saving as well. One thing that came through with the Ten of Pentacles here is make sure that you try to spend wisely and save more than you spend this month. Overall, your finances are going to be able to survive even if you have an unexpected cost that comes in, because you start with the Ten of Pentacles and I see you here at the Seven of Pentacles, which is not a complete obliteration. It shows me maybe accessing 10 to 15% of your liquid savings and being able to come back from that. So don't freak out too much. Don't sort of go into this deep freeze that we're seeing here with this Four of Swords. It is good to take a break throughout the month. Take little breaks, but this isn't the month where I would sort of go on a long vacation. You're going to miss opportunities in business and in love and finance if you do that. So this is a month to work hard and to be optimistic, because you're going to be able to call in these successful things. Remember, the central card was success. So this catalyst card. So what that tells me is success in overcoming any sort of monetary challenges you have, success in love and opening up your heart this month, success in partnerships, and success in getting past any sort of stagnancy that has existed prior. Now let's take a look at your expanded forecast, and we'll begin, as we always do, with a card that indicates health. It's both mental and physical health. Your health card for this month is Rock Bottom. Okay, so it was reversed, which tells me the worst is over for many of you. But Rock Bottom for health means this is a time to detox. So if you've been having issues, maybe some of you got a difficult diagnosis from a doctor, then what you do now is you decide, how am I going to deal with it? What can I do to positively change my eating habits, my health, my general sort of exercise, and then how am I going to do the best with coping? Do I need to talk to somebody about this? What I also see is, for some of you, it's not as bad as it seems. This almost reminds me of sort of a boxed in area. So some of you have painted yourself in a corner, but it's not a permanent end. This is just sort of like a segue and a chance for you to clean yourself up, because we did pull the success card. So for whatever sort of approach you take, I do see some level of improvement coming in the health department. So I will say this is a month to really stay hydrated. If you look close down here, it almost reminds me of a desert floor because it's cracked. So make sure that you're drinking the right kind of fluids, more water, less alcohol, less caffeine. If you need a little bit of a push here or there, do it sparingly. I mentioned that earlier, and I almost thought when I said it, they really shouldn't be drinking the caffeine this month. So make sure that you're drinking more water than anything else, and that you try not to get too psyched out by any sort of diagnosis. Your own approach in the way you emotionally deal with it is just as impactful as whatever you're prescribed or whatever your doctor tells you to do. So mind over matter in this one. When we take a look at your wealth and prosperity, we have this beautiful nurture card, also reversed. So what this is telling me is to look at your finances and to put more in. Nurture means to save with finances. It also means to reinvest in poorer or lesser performing investments. Obviously speak with your own accountant and your own, if you have a sort of investor, you can talk about what makes sense. But what it's saying is there's a chance to tweak things and make them a little bit better. This can also be your own spending habits and making sure that you're doing things that are going to have a return. Because when you look at this card, whenever I see all the nature around her, the trees, the plants, the brush, you nurture that, it grows. So if you don't pay attention to your finances, they're going to languish. They'll wither and they'll die. So this is a month where I know sometimes it's really stressful if the bills have been adding up. It's easy just to put them in the corner and think, I'll look at them in a month. They're not going to improve. The best thing you can do is to set up either like an Excel worksheet or just put it on pen and paper and actually get to know what your budget is and understand what you need to save and what you need to continue to be more fruitful. I really want everyone to have abundance. Abundance is a good thing. It gives you the chance to share. It gives you the chance to go after your dreams. So don't be shy about bringing in abundance or welcoming in abundance. And I get a little bit of a chill when I say that, so the guides really want me to bring that part across to you. Now when we look at your love situation, we have Lakshmi, and what this is a bright future. And I love what it says here. It says, stop worrying, please. So everything's going to be fine when it comes to love. This could mean for some of you, even stepping free and breaking free of a very difficult situation, it's okay. Because what I see here at the end of the month is something brighter, something better. Or it might be a temporary sort of situation where this Four of Swords for some of you could just mean stepping away from someone for a little bit, allowing them to come back when they're ready, okay? So basically, it's all right, don't worry, focus on other aspects of your life that you can bring basically growth to. We talked about finances and we talked about health, and your love situation will work itself out. It's not going to be your primary focus this month, but it's also not something that you should worry too much about. With the King of Cups coming here, I feel like you're either going to have an opening in your heart, your partner could have an opening, or new love will come in. And at the very least, it's just letting you say love yourself first by doing all of these other things. That's going to open up the other opportunities. Finally, when we take a look at your Destiny card, and really, I usually only do Karma and Destiny at the beginning or the end of the year, but and Karma, there's so much that it'd be hard in the general reading. Destiny, though, this is your opportunity. Karma is sort of like your debt and your learning, your lessons that you sort of call in, but Destiny is what you should be doing rather than what you have been doing or what you're trying to pay down. So what you should be doing, all of these came in sort of reverse this month, which just means it might be a little harder for some of you to tune into it, but vigilance. So vigilance, particularly with money and opportunities, because most of your cards this month are Earth. We have 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. It's a lot of Earth energy, and so what I really see for you guys is a chance here to take hold of your finances, to turn around something that is either an initial loss or something that might be poorly executed and make it something better. And it also means improving of skills, improving your own self-confidence. The other biggest sort of type of card that I'm seeing here is, well, actually the one that stuck out the most was the Four of Swords. I paid attention to it first. So the combination of the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords says, don't freak out and don't wait too long. This is a month for you to affect and shift the change in your life, okay? And that brings us to the end of your monthly reading. I hope this was helpful for you. I think that a lot of positive information came through and a couple of warnings on where not to get tripped up came through, so that should leave you in a place where you know what the next steps are. If however, you ever want a more personalized reading, I book about a month in advance, but I do have some rush appointment options on my website, so I'll put a link in one of the corners so you can find me there. You can also follow me on social media. I'm on all the major social websites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a newsletter, and you can look at all of that on my website. I'll post a link here so you can connect with me there. Otherwise, thank you for the support, the comments, and all of the likes and subscribes. It really means a lot, even if I don't have time to personally say thank you to everybody. I do read everything. I try to like everything, and it definitely is encouragement for me when I see positive activity happening here. It makes it worthwhile. So wishing you all the best. Have a wonderful April, and I'll see you again next month. Thank you. Satnam. Take care of yourselves.